Why Rishi Sunak features on Luxury Unplugged Podcast? Because Luxury Unplugged Podcast is all about luxury meeting spirituality. There is no better example than Rishi Sunak, who is not only a British Indian elected as the British Prime Minister, but also he's a fine example of someone embracing our rich Indian heritage and someone who is having immense success in the British land. Having worked in highly esteemed companies to helping his mom in a pharmacy to doing Gaur Puja with equal elan, he exhibits that success can be experienced as you slowly but surely chisel your own meticulous craftsmanship. So in this podcast, let's explore the rise of British Indian Rishi Sunak to the most prestigious position. And what does the future entail for a regular British Indian? A Luxury Unplugged podcast. Stay tuned. So on the Hindu Festival of Lights, Rishi Sunak, who is of Indian descent and a practicing Hindu, became Britain's Prime Minister. And the newspapers are flooded with the news like his ancestral homeland celebrates his achievement. And of course, there is every reason to do so. 75 years after Indians cast off British colonial rule. Indian sun rises over an empire. Prime Minister Narendra Modi alluded to those historic ties in a tweet congratulating Sunak, saying, "Special Diwali wishes to the living bridge of UK Indians as we transform our historic ties into a modern partnership." Hi, I'm Neeti Keswani and you're listening to Luxury Unplugged Podcast, where luxury meets spirituality. Let's focus on why Rishi Sunak being Prime Minister is the high point for all coloured people, especially those of Indian origin. Rishi Sunak acquires the coveted title of British Prime Ministership. However, he is coming from a Punjabi heritage, and he also takes on the more esteemed title of the nation's first British Asian leader. He was born in the city of Southampton, England in 1980, and his father Yashwir was a family doctor originally from Kenya and his mother Usha was a pharmacist originally from Tanzania. So they moved to the UK before Sunak was born, and Sunak's grandparents on both sides were migrants from India who had settled in East Africa. He was born in England to Indian parents, and he often spoke of feeling divided between his Hindu heritage and cheering for the local soccer team as a child. Now, Sunak embraces his Hindu religion, and he even took his oath of office as finance minister in 2020 by placing his hands on the Bhagavad Gita, a sacred Hindu text. He said that lighting Diwali oil lamps outside 11 Downing Street in November 2020 was one of the proudest moments of his life. And as in his own words, he says, and I quote, "I am now a citizen of Britain, but my religion is Hindu. My religious and cultural heritage is Indian. I proudly say that I'm a Hindu and my identity is also a Hindu." He said that in 2017 when former Prime Minister Theresa May made him a minister in her cabinet. And in August 2022, when Sunak was considered a likely candidate to succeed Boris Johnson as Prime Minister, he was spotted performing a Gaur Puja in London. Now this video went viral because he was holding a brass tumbler in hand, offering holy water to the cow and then performing a ritual seeking blessing from the cow. But Rishi Sunak embraces his Hindu heritage very well. He writes on his website that from working in his mum's chemist shop to his experience of building large businesses, he has firsthand seen how politicians support free enterprise and innovation to ensure our future prosperity. Well, not all immigrants are able to afford for their children the best education, the best in class, because he has been privately educated at Winchester, one of England's oldest and most expensive public boarding schools. His upbringing was undoubtedly privileged. He followed the same path as many British political elite by studying politics, philosophy and economics at Oxford. And after he graduated, he got a job in investment banking with Goldman Sachs. Afterwards, he went to Stanford University in the United States to get his MBA. And he married his Stanford classmate Akshata Murthy in 2009, who is the fashion designer and daughter of billionaire Indian tech entrepreneur Narayan Murthy, who is the co-founder of Infosys. And the couple have a combined wealth of £730 million. Sunak can thereby allegedly lay claim to another title, which is the richest man to ever sit in the House of Commons. Rishi Sunak, as UK's new PM, embraces the Indian connection. And probably he's having the maximum support of the Indian diaspora, with 1.5 million people in Great Britain making up one of its largest ethnic minorities. This is a significant population backing him. Indeed, it is about living your dreams. Sunak's personal family history could be read as a testament to the British dream, the idea that the UK is a land of opportunity, where no matter where you come from, if you work hard and if you have focus, you can make it right to the top. Let's explore the journey of the British Indian community. Now, the British Indian community has a long and textured history dating back centuries to the early days of the British Raj. Today, there is an estimated 1.5 billion British Indians, making one of the largest minority groups in the country. They come from a variety of backgrounds and regions, each with their own unique customs and traditions. But despite their diversity, British Indians are united by a common identity and a shared set of values. This was evident during COVID-19 pandemic, when members of the community came together to support one another during these challenging times. From doctors and nurses working on the front lines to volunteers delivering food parcels to vulnerable people, the British Indian community showed strength and resilience in the face of adversity. Looking to the future, it is clear that the British Indian community will continue to play a vital role in shaping Britain for generations to come. If you look at the current state of British-Indian relations, there is a strong economic tie between the two countries, and there's a lot of cooperation on a number of issues such as climate change and trade relations. Now, in 2013, the Parliament of the UK had 8 Indian origin MPs and 24 Indian origin lords. In addition, there were 180 Indian origin councillors elected to councils across the UK. And the number of MPs increased to 15 in 2017, and since then, there is no looking back. In fact, the Indian diaspora in UK is one of the largest ethnic minority communities in the country, and according to the 2011 census, approximately 1.5 million people of Indian origin in the UK equate to about 1.8% of the population, and they contribute about 6% of the country's GDP. UK is among India's major trading partners, and during 2016-17, UK ranked 15th in the list of India's top 25 trading partners. India's trade with the UK in 2017-18 was about $14.497 billion. And as far as UK's investments in India are concerned, UK is the 4th largest inward investor in India after Mauritius, Singapore and Japan, with a cumulative equity investment of $26.09 billion. So it accounts for about 7% of all foreign direct investment into India. And as per the data released in 2018, India was the 3rd largest investor in the UK. It also emerged as the 2nd largest international job creator, with Indian companies having created over 110,000 jobs in the UK. As of December 2018, the total consolidated revenue of Indian companies in the UK is £47.5 billion, with the technical and telecom sector accounting for 31%, with the pharmaceuticals and chemical sector mapping 24% of the India tracker. Apart from this, how have the British Indians contributed to society and the economy, you might wonder? Well, British Indians have made significant contributions to the United Kingdom in a number of different ways. For starters, they've helped to boost the economy through their entrepreneurial spirit and hard work. Businesses owned by British Indians generate billions of pounds each year, and many British Indians are employed in highly skilled occupations such as medicine and finance. In addition, British Indians have made significant cultural contributions to the UK. They have introduced popular dishes such as curry to the British diet. They've also helped to bring traditional Indian culture to a wider audience through events such as Diwali celebrations. And as a result, British Indians have made a valuable contribution to both the economy and society of the United Kingdom. But still, there are some challenges that British Indians face today. What are those? Well, both in terms of their identity and in terms of their place in society, which is quite strange, but yes, these are some of the challenges faced by British Indians. On one hand, they are often seen as being too Indian to be truly British. And on the other hand, they are often seen as being not Indian enough. This can lead to a sense of not belonging to either culture and to a feeling of isolation and exclusion. This can make it difficult to feel comfortable in their own skin and to achieve their full potential. But Rishi Sunak's rise to the most prestigious position in Great Britain is the best proof of rising above the discriminations and the mediocrities. He is an inspiration to British Indians to thrive wherever they are. So what does the future of British Indians in Britain look like? Well, it looks very bright. In the past, many British Indians have faced discrimination and racism, but thanks to the hard work of campaigners and activists, this is gradually changing. The overall mindset is evolving. More and more British Indians are being elected to Parliament and holding senior positions in government, business, and industry. This is giving British Indians a strong voice in shaping the future of Britain. So we even explored Rishi Sunak's plans, which include backing local businesses and standing up for farmers. We found these 2 points really relevant to British Indians, and I'll tell you why. Small and medium-sized businesses are the lifeblood of British Indians. Most of us are employed in small enterprises rather than large multinationals, and small companies are also an important part of our local communities. And Rishi Sunak seems to have a plan for them in place. By standing up for farmers, Rishi Sunak has already made a special place in the Indian community worldwide. Through visiting farms and auction marts and speaking with dozens of farmers he has spoken on several occasions, he tends to understand the issues facing the farming community today. Besides, the younger generation of British Indians is also highly educated and ambitious. So, if we want to explore the future for British Indians in Britain, it looks very promising because many are now choosing to start their own businesses apart from going the traditional route of careers in the sciences, engineering, and medicine. Rishi Sunak brings more hope, more inspiration to all people of Indian origin to rise above the bars, to embrace vital and vibrant part of British society and Indian culture and make an important contribution to our economy, our culture and our way of life. So to conclude, the British Indian community has come a long way and made great contributions to society and the economy, but there are still challenges that need to be addressed. We hope that through continued dialogue and cooperation, both sides can work together to overcome these challenges and build an even stronger relationship. And I'll leave you with this quote. Move beyond the past to create something which is exquisite for the world. What do you think? Leave us your thoughts in the comments below. This is Neeti Keswani signing off for Luxury Unplugged, where luxury meets spirituality. Tune in to the next podcast coming up soon.